Rise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We are back for another episode of Mundus Novus. This is episode 41, Les Loups à la Porte, which this is episode 41. This is the finale of Arc 4. Yeah, we'll get to see what the hell happens in this episode of the finale. I hope everyone survives. Actually, it'd be an interesting story this far in if someone didn't. I think that would be just as interesting as everyone surviving. Is if not everyone survived. I think that'd be a wild time. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by joining us over on Patreon. Link in the description down below. While you're down there, make sure you click on that Discord link. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. I think that's really it. Come join us. Do all the things. Talk about the stuff. Watch the things. All that fun goodness. And without further ado, previously on Mundus Novus, Sister Margot gathered witches and marked wolves on the rain-soaked grounds of Église Saint-Lumier, invoking forbidden alchemy to free them from the moon's chains. The investigators barricaded themselves inside the church as the cult closed in, while Alec confronted Renee in the attic and offered him a choice about his own fate. Renee briefly spoke with a voice not entirely his own, taunting Alec about giving him up. Before Alec realized the truth, Renee's father was the man she loved during the war, and the same creature who once spared their life. We cut back the sounds of bodies thudding against the walls and doors of the church, Église Saint-Lumier. We see inside frantically Signy, William, Cyrus, Martha, Wyla are barricading, preparing themselves, testing the tension strength of a bowstring, dropping silver bullets, spinning a revolver's spindle, slapping that thing in there, passing around bullets, preparing their medium ship. And we cut from there back to the attic where we see a moment pass in the breath of a few heartbeats, where Alec remembers a traumatic experience in the war a few years back, where a werewolf ripped through a medical tent, shocking and terrifying both her and her cousin William, before the werewolf looked Alec dead in the eye, turned and loped off into the distance. As Alec comes to, they realize that the eyes of the boy staring up at her expectantly are the same. And the circle closes, and Alec remembers a tryst in her youth was not only with a handsome soldier, but that handsome soldier was himself a vampire. Wow, that would be a twist. A werewolf. That's season 5.
Vampire werewolf. Wow.
A werewolf. Now we know what's happening next season. A werewolf who not only gave both her and William the sight, but also spared their lives, and is both of those things while being the father of this. So we sit in this moment with Alec as you make this realization. Alec, what do you do as you hear the sounds of thuds against the wall downstairs?
I think that Alec sort of gasps, and I think, their eyes get a little bit wet, and they actually pull their eyes away from Renee, Renee's eyes, because in that moment, I don't know if you've ever felt it, like sometimes eyes can be super powerful, and I don't think that Alec has the ability to look at him in that moment. And as they pull their own eyes away, that's when they hear the thumping of the bodies against the door. And, Alec is already in a feared state, and that only like elevates their fear. And at this point, they're trying really hard to remain calm for the sake of Renee. And they turn back and they say, the time it appears to have come. All of your life has led to this, and I'm sorry, Renee. I fear you will be put in a position to determine if you can forgive me for my choices before you've had a chance to even know me. I wish that were not the case. I wish we could have enjoyed um, many other tremendous adventures. But more than that, I wish that we had had the experience for of all those tiny little moments, you know, that are so small when you live them, but they all combine to create a bigger thing, a greater life of love and joy and connection. Are you are you ready?
He looks at you with like the only real comparison he has for what you're speaking about, which is vastly over his head, is what he's learned, um, basically living in a convent, right? So the only like that maternal love or that like building a life together he only has through the you know the concept of Christ, as taught to him by the nuns, right? So he doesn't really have like a full um, understanding of what you're saying, but he does too hear the thuds that are happening downstairs and understands that there is um, consequences to this field trip, as he has undergone and realized shortly thereafter that it is not in fact a field trip. And he looks to you, um, and you can see that like tears are starting to well in his eyes in the way that like a kid doesn't want like that embarrassed cry where kids don't want to let you know that they're about to cry. And he kind of sniffles back what would be the flood of tears, and he nods to you and says, I, I think so.
Um, Alec puts a hand on Renee's shoulder and says, "Hey, hey, it's okay. No matter what happens, you're going to be okay. You keep that spell up, okay? And whatever your choices are, I forgive you, okay? I forgive you."
Uh, he he looks at you like a little confused as to like why you're forgiving him. Not really understanding in this moment that it's more about forgiving yourself than it is about anything that he's done. Um, and he looks to you, and there's a moment where you see his body is like his body's awkward. In that like he has a level of discomfort, like like he's sitting with an anxiety that he's trying to push through, and you see him like almost fighting internally with himself, and he leans forward and very like not like mechanically, but like almost a little forced. He reaches out and very strangely like puts his arms around you, um, and you get a hug from a kid who doesn't really hug. He's not been brought up in a place where hugging is the norm of things. So like the act itself is uncomfortable, and the scenario of essentially to him hugging a stranger is also an uncomfortable thing. But for whatever reason, in this moment, that felt like the right choice for him to make as he sort of deals with whatever complex series of emotions he doesn't understand whatsoever. He leans forward and embraces you in that like awkwardly tight kid hug, and you can feel that like that stutter breath, as you can feel like just a small bit of like warm wet on your shoulder, as you can tell like a few tears have started to flow, and he kind of nods into your shoulder, um, and you feel him like almost shake his head no, against your shoulder, and you realize that he is doing everything he can to mask the fact that he's crying, by wiping them off on you, and then he leans back and the tears have stopped, and he says, "Should I stay here?"
Yes, stay here and stay safe as long as you can, okay?
Okay. Um, he backs up from you, and you see him like push away oh god, what are they called, Matt? The little scissors you gave him. You see him like push that away. You see him
The
push away like
hemostat.
the hemostat. Thank you. You see him push away like the little train toy that he had. And you see him in the way that a rosary is like oh god, it's been so long. It's like 10 Our Fathers, one Hail Mary, whatever the beads represent, right? He's sort of you see him like rubbing one of the beads, and then he like rotates the little rosary that he has, and you see him rubbing the other one as if he is praying in some capacity, whether that be to a Judeo-Christian god or some strange cult, you're not entirely sure. But he's going through the motions that he's been taught. And you just see him silently close his eyes and begin to like rotate the beads through his thumb and index finger.
And the stairs are the only way into this room, right?
The ladder, yeah.
Okay, so there's no windows or any other.
Correct. There's no windows.
All right, so then Alec will back away and give him one final glance before heading down the stairs.
The last look you see is his eyes are closed, and he's kind of doing that like unintentional slow rock as he rotates these beads through his hand. And when Alec descends the stairs, what do they see as they make their way to the bottom? What is everyone else doing in the frantic main floor of the church?
Like Cyrus and I were moving furniture around to barricade doors. I think we decided we couldn't really do a whole lot about the windows, right?
I believe you had been leaning pews against the windows as a like there's like you don't have nails to nail the boards over the windows, but I think you're pulling the pews up to the windows to,
okay.
Like, at least add an extra barrier.
Yeah, and I think I had like put
that
like sheets and stuff over the windows so they couldn't look in, if I remember correctly.
Yep, that's true as well.
Yeah, now that they're banging on the door, Cyrus has basically two things to say real quick. He'll turn to Wyla and say, Wyla, you are a better shot than I am. Can you shoot the witch? Is that something you can do for us?
She looks to you and says, I can try.
All right. It's fine. I just wanted to make sure that you'd be okay shooting at what looks like a person. Yes, she's a monster, but not like other monsters we've seen. So you can shoot the witch. I know you have the ability. Do you have the will?
You watch as a certain realization sort of goes over her, and like in the heightened adrenaline of like we might die situation here, you can tell that in this moment, as you're saying it, is the first time she has considered that this is a person. And you see her eyes sort of lose focus for a second, and then sort of come back when you say, do you have the will? And she looks a little bit like she's steeled her reserves, as it were. And she looks to you and says, I think so. We don't have a choice, right?
We have no choice. If you have the shot, take it. And if you don't have a shot, try to get one. Good luck. And then Cyrus will turn and kind of close the distance with Signy very quickly and turn to her and say, Signy, we don't have a lot of time. So I want to say, we have a lot more to say to one another. But in the meantime, keep yourself safe and protect the rest of us. I'm going to try and buy us some time and maybe even the odds. And then he will quickly lean in and he'll give her a kiss, and he'll just linger for like a heartbeat. And then he'll pull back and say, so shoot straight. And he'll turn, he'll run up to the altar.
As he's going away, getting away, she hadn't said anything up to that point. She's like, Cyrus. Next, if he turns and looks at her,
he'll turn back and look as he's making his way. Yeah.
She'll say, next time you kiss me, it better not be on the footsteps of our doom.
I'll pick a better spot.
And then she will go back to her position at the window.
And in that movement, and in that moment, Cyrus will bestow his blessing ability and give Signy +2 to any future roll she wants.
Ooh, one roll.
One roll +2.
Okay.
Strangely enough, all of the windows in the church fog over.
The church starts on fire. Oh, good.
The church, yeah. There's actually a smolder right where it's 2-foot shaped smoldering marks on the floor of the church, and the windows fog up, and no one can see inside. What are William and Martha doing?
Well, William was finishing up putting the stuff in front of the windows. He was working on the barricades. Aside from that, with the last when we ended last time, he had dug through his bag, pulled out all the various cartridges he had, and put them in his pocket so he could load fast, and was just getting ready for chaos to begin. He'll although if he sees Alec actually coming into the room, he'll stare at them and kind of gauge what their state is, knowing that they just came back down from talking to their kid.
I think that what, as a doctor, is all of the signs of like heightened adrenaline and fear, right? So
perfectly normal for what's going on.
yeah.
So Martha, Martha would turn to the group and she'd say, I think the back door is still not watched. If somebody's going to make a run for it to go get help, that would be the time. We might not get another chance.
I don't know.
I could go now.
Oh, she's volunteering.
It's not the worst idea.
Yeah, it's not the worst idea.
If the place isn't surrounded, otherwise she's running out into murder.
Yeah. Well, we did specify they were in a horseshoe, so they're not
last
completely...
time.
Maybe.
And we did say that it was still unwatched as of this moment.
Yeah.
What, Cyrus?
I said maybe get the white witches.
Yeah, Lillian.
We don't have time to think, Martha. If you have the courage to do so, try it. But...
Oh, we lose your audio there.
So I'm gonna gather up my skirts and run out the back.
Now to
I'll
be
try
clear,
to like.
you are still
I
dressed
think
like
I have
nun?
It all depends on if she changed at the hotel.
which is black and it's dark.
Okay.
So I would like if there's like a white like part to it, I'd probably take that part off, so make it more black, and then I just like try to cover myself in as much of the black nun's outfit because I don't have much time to do much.
Oh yeah.
And then I'm just gonna try to run out the back and see if I can make it to go get help.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a stealth, and I will give you a. Ooh. Actually, I'm gonna give you. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna give you a bonus. But I think I just realized the answer to a question, Matt. Matt, your advantage is once per gaming session.
Okay. So basically one time today.
One time today, yeah. So use it wisely. So roll me a stealth, Martha, but you can use if you want, you can use your advantage for local expert. You only get to use it once time per session, but you could use that. And I'm also going to give you a bonus of +1 for the outfit.
Okay. And then I was thinking about possibly, and I don't know if I can do this or not, but I was also thinking about possibly telling little Eddie that if he sees anybody kind of starting to look my way to to fly kind of in front of them and distract them, or kind of fly around their head, or make a noise or something so they look the other way.
Hmm.
Hold on one second.
Because I'd really prefer not to fail this roll. But I have a feeling it wouldn't be good.
So actually, it's actually the same number of dice, but I'm just looking at your elegant disguise, which will let you use manipulation for sneak. Instead of rolling sneak, you can roll manipulation. So you'll actually get a +2 from your disguise. I'll say I don't know that Eddie can help you with this roll.
Can I help, Mike, by there was a lot of study that Alec did around the layout of New Orleans, and I think also had done that erudite roll around back alleys and stuff like that. Can I help by providing some safer directions?
You can if Wintress does not want to use her local expert advantage.
Okay.
So her local expert would give her a +2. Yours would give a +1. So it
Okay.
depends, but hers can only be used one time per session.
Okay, well, that's options.
Eddie to make a task that makes sense. You know what? I will say Eddie can help you, right? I think Eddie can call out if there are people that you don't want to run into, can make a squawk, and you can sort of change directions, right?
Okay.
So you'll get a +1 from Eddie. You'll get a +2 from your outfit, so a total of +3. And if you want to use your local expert, that would give you another +2.
Okay, so that would be a possible +5, and then I can roll stealth though, right? Because my manipulation isn't
Your
good.
manipulation
Stealth
is
better.
0, but your empathy
Yeah.
is 5. So either stealth or manipulate will get you 5 dice. Either way.
So do I? Sorry, I think because if I click manipulation,
It will roll manipulate plus empathy.
oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but if
And
I
then you-
roll,
and then
but
you
the
give it
stealth,
bonus 3 or 5 dice.
oh, I see. It's 5 either way. I see what you're
Yep.
saying. Okay.
It's 5
All
plus
right. So
3 or
5
5.
plus 5. Okay. Okay. Well, then I'll roll manipulation. It doesn't really matter, and I will use my local expert. And
Okay.
you want me to go now? I can go now, or I can wait for some other people to do some stuff.
No, yeah, you click that,
Okay.
click that right now. Let's see what the dice roll.
All right.
See what
let's
happens.
see. Can't look.
Yeah.
True success. God, imagine if you guys sent Martha out there and she's the one that doesn't make it. It'd be wild. Wild given the
Trips crawling out the window, gets
Yeah.
eaten by a wolf.
wild given the request for next season. Yeah, I think Martha, I'll let you describe where you're going and how you're doing it, but as you make it out of the back room of the church, obviously you can say your goodbyes and whatever you want to say, but the scene outside is like the skies are like dark gray, like it's almost like nighttime, right? They're so dark, and the rain is coming down in sheets, so much so that like your visibility out here is maybe 10 feet in front of you before things start to like get blurry, and you can just see shapes moving around the front of the building. You can hear shouts, but only that they're shouting over the sound of the storm. It's hard to even make out what they're saying. But what does it look like as you exit from the church, and where do we see you going?
So I would, I'd give everybody a quick hug, do a couple, crosses, get my nun's outfit over me, and then just kind of you see this figure kind of hunched going through the rain when she's splashing through the petals, trying not to make too many splashes, and gets out from the back of the church, and she's gonna be running through these rain-drenched streets, just towards the witch's place, that our friendly witch. And hopefully
The
she's
time
there.
has passed, but I want to say that if Martha gave Alec a hug, Alec would whisper, "God bless you, Martha," in her ear before she leaves.
Aw.
So you're headed to the now I'm drawing a blank. The Verdant something.
Verdant Vale.
The Verdant Vale.
Yes.
to see Lillian Gautier. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, with two successes on a sneak, that is the exact number you needed. Anything less would have gotten you chased. But you are booking it through the alleyway. Like, it's not even alleyways so much as it is the area you're in is residential, and you're just sort of like cutting through yards and that like side yard between houses as you make your way into like the main street proper, and begin to head towards the French Quarter. Um, at full tilt while we see, you know, Edgar's flying, or Eddie flying overhead. Um, Fantastic. Alec, you are down from the stairs. You part with you give parting words to Martha. You see the scene unfold before you as you catch a brief smooch between Signy and Cyrus. And you see that Wyla is sort of pacing like where the door is and like towards one of the windows, kind of like in like a half moon shape. She's just sort of pacing back and forth. And you see her every once in a while just like pull on her bowstring and just sort of like testing the tautness of it, as you see her like sort of shaking off whatever jitters she may have of the moment. And you see William is barricading things, checking his revolver as you survey the situation down here. More banging. You guys hear like scratching sounds, like something carving into wood out there. And you too can hear shouts. The closer you are to the window, it sounds like they're issuing like, "Go around back, check this, you know, climb up here." Like they're trying to issue out like ways to get into this place. But the further you are from the windows, the harder it is to understand them as they are shouting over the constant like of rain on the windows. What are you all? Nothing has broken through. What are you all doing at this moment?
I think up until the point when Cyrus had approached Signy, she had been standing like closer to a window that she had helped barricade, and her back was kind of to everybody. And she has her revolver and then a handful of these silver bullets that William said, "Here," and gave them to her. And she was um, nervously fumbling with them and like trying to load them in. And so she's like, "Oh, come on, like get in." Like, and she was just like very nervous, very agitated, I think. And Cyrus comes over and says what he says and gives her the kiss. And I think she stands up a little straighter, and I think he definitely gives her more hope in the moment, I guess. And she doesn't feel so hopeless. So can I remove my mental condition?
Yeah, you know what? I think that is I think a smooch can give you hope. I think I support that.
Yeah, like she feels maybe not like less hopeless, but she feels more confident. I think
Yeah.
that's a better word.
Yeah.
She's not expecting to survive this. So
I think a zaddy moment gives you hope. I think that's
Yeah.
fine. I think
okay.
that's
You'll give me that.
yeah. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
And as we can hear their voices outside, she will turn back to the group after Martha has left, and she says, "If you can, aim for the runes on their bodies. Remember, they help control the change. If we can disrupt the runes, maybe they'll turn back into humans." And then she will go back to her post at the window, and she'll glance at Williams like, "Do we want to take the fight to them?"
That's a good question.
You did
That was
bring
actually gonna
that
be my next question. So.
Yeah, you did bring that up at the end of the session that we start firing first.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think we should leave the safety of the church.
No. Oh,
because we're
absolutely.
bottlenecking them to come in.
Because we can like
Which-
like put a little
yeah.
hole in the window with the barrel of our gun and then shoot through it.
And we might even be able to bait them into coming in at a specific window or door by doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
So she will look to the soldier for his
the
opinion.
doctor. He's a doctor first, but that
Yeah.
does actually make sense. I don't know, one of the windows. I mean, is there a central window that is like facing them?
They are, so imagine the church being roughly rectangular.
Right.
The southern end of the rectangle is the doors, and the
Mhm.
long sides are the windows, and they're sort of half moon around this. So really, any side, probably the best shot would be like the windows closest to the door. That would probably give you like a good peek ability, but you kind of have to like stick out of it a little bit. But they're like half mooned around the entrance and windows, trying to find a way in.
There's no
So
window in the front
any
door.
window
or
would give you
anything.
a shot at the ones on the side.
Right, but there's no window in the front door or in the front of the church.
Correct.
Okay. I'm not too keen on hanging out of the window.
No, me neither.
The second you lean out,
I feel like you guys will be fine. Why?
I feel like this is like every horror movie. I'll go see if it's okay. Gets shot.
Yeah.
What, guys? This isn't a horror RPG. That's crazy. It's a drama.
Okay, so maybe that's a no if we can't directly just see them out the window.
Yeah.
You can I will say you can see them out the window, the ones that are on that side of the building, but not all of them are on that side of the building.
I mean, okay. I mean, if
Yeah,
if we can just like take a shot out of the window around the barricade without having to, like expose ourselves too much, then why not?
Yeah, I think that's really
they're
cool.
coming in no matter what, so why not?
They're for
shoot
sure
first?
trying to.
If we can get one or two of them, that's just one or two less that are gonna barge in the door.
Would someone like to
So
shoot
I'm down
first?
for taking a shot at that. Yeah.
Yeah, Signy
go
will
for it.
as well.
Go ahead and roll me your ranged combat with the bonus from your weapon and any other applicable bonuses you may have.
I'm not gonna use my crack shot yet. Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Holy shit! and
William,
shit.
holy shit!
Pardon my French, but holy shit! I don't think I've ever seen 7 successes on 10 dice.
Like, yeah, I'm just gonna take a shot. Kablamo! Blasting.
One second.
Okay, so that's
please.
one less villain.
Please hold. Let me see here.
It's like in Indiana Jones where he shoots it and goes through 3 Nazis.
Yeah. So by rolling more successes than required, you may increase your damage by 1, which can be chosen multiple times. You may outmaneuver your enemy, which is not important. You may stress your enemy, which will cause a mental condition in addition to physical ones. Push them away, or make the enemy drop their weapon. So I'm assuming you're gonna just increase your damage a shitload.
By
Yeah,
6.
I would say, because honestly, I just want to know how much damage do we need to do to actually, F one of these guys
I
up.
will tell you that actually because you have fought a werewolf before. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It was a lot.
6,
It was like
7.
7 or 8.
8 damage will since you have discovered the secret of werewolves. 8 damage, and if the 8th damage is dealt with silver, it dies. If it is not dealt with silver, it doesn't die.
So by my math, Signy plus William equals 8.
Actually, let me double check. William, your revolver does 2 damage to start with. So 1 success gets you 2 damage. And you have 6 more to buy. So if you buy all 8 with your 7 success, you outright kill a werewolf.
Well, if I don't do anything with the other success, I can't bank it, right? So
Correct. Yeah.
So
spending
instead
spending them all on damage will outright kill you the first werewolf.
So what we're gonna do is I'm actually just gonna throw away one of them so that Signy gets the kill. So this is just like the other game where I do all the fucking damage and then like Winch's character comes in and hits it for 1 point and then it dies.
I'm okay with shooting my own werewolf. Like if we're on opposite sides of the.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we could do that too. That's
Yeah.
less funny, but much
Yeah.
more practical.
Because she's
Much
not really
less mad.
skilled. I have 1 dot in range combat, so
In our other game, Matt plays a gunslinger and often does like 25 damage, and then it's usually Wintress who's like bard stuff and it dies.
It bumps
I
its
make
head on
fun
the
of
wall
you
from
guys
flashing
for
lights.
embarrassment.
Yeah, she throws a dagger at it, hits it with the handle, it dies.
Or she insults it and it dies, right?
It really does.
Or
It's
there's
really
like a
true.
raccoon or something that kills it.
Yeah, one time a summoned rat killed somebody. Yeah,
Yep.
it was awesome.
Matt, do me a favor, and I would like a pithy one-liner from you, and to also go ahead and roll manipulate.
Okay, I can roll manipulate. Pithy one-liner. Jeez, this is the wrong game for that.
Well, as you fire, and I'll let you describe what it looks like, but as you kill this wolf, is there some sort of like, something that William says in this moment?
Okay, so here, I'll roll the manipulate really quick, and then yeah, okay, made up for that. So after his encounter in the forest, I mean, his trauma changed. He got over it, for lack of a better word. So now, instead of just being afraid, he's just angry. He is just ticked off at the idea of werewolves, at the werewolves trying to attack them, at just anything. Where he's just like murderous rage when he sees a werewolf now. So he's just shouting, "Not anymore," and then pulled the trigger. And it just, with absolute military precision, right, between the eyes, no question about it, no overcoming it, no healing from it, no special werewolf durability. He's gone.
Hell yeah, I love that.
He'll be very
Yeah, so
satisfied.
you smoke this werewolf, and you see a few of the I mean, this was essentially a guy at this point, right? But you see this guy, you know them to be a werewolf. You see several other people around him. You fire this thing, shot goes in. You see the guy stumble back, and there's sort of like a jolt in this, as if like when you touch a socket, it's sort of like ah. So you see him spasm a little bit, and you see him crumble to the ground. And no one seems to mind that happening. And then there's a beat, like a single heartbeat, and you see the first person sort of turn to look back at the guy on the ground, and then another person turns to look back, and another person turns to look back, and they're all realizing that that guy's not getting up. And that's when they realize that you've killed him, in a way that like lets you know they fully expected him to take that shot and then get back up. And they've made the connection that you have silver bullets. So they are aware of what you're doing. They were completely caught off guard that you killed somebody. And you see a few people that were on that side sort of relocate to a different side.
And then I come in and go kablamo.
And then you go in and go pew.
Yeah. Pew, 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 pew.
Bang.
I do 2 damage with my silver bullet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that one still says ow.
Yeah.
You hear a guy go, "Ow, that hurt," on the other side of the church. Ouchies, not cool. Okay.
So I can't see any more out my side.
You can see you can still see. There's about a dozen of the werewolves. There's 11 now. But there was about a dozen, roughly split. Probably like 5 on either side and 2 banging at the door. So now there's you killed one of them and 2 more of them leave your side, William. So there's only 2 left on your side. The rest are on Signy's side. So 2 on your side, 2 on the door, and the remaining 7 on Signy's side. Yeah. Signy, you fire. William, you fire. Alec, you are doing what? And Cyrus, you are doing what?
I think that I mean, Alec doesn't have any ranged, so they have pulled their knife out, which is just, I think it's just a standard like kitchen knife is what they've been carrying around this entire time. Something that they got from the manor, and they are actually standing near Wyla. And trying to follow Wyla's example and trying to pull together calm. And as always, Alec, to calm themselves, is just like repeating Emerson quotes to themselves. And let's see, this one will be, "Nothing can bring you peace but yourself." And and will be looking out the window without like just trying to like peer out the window, but protecting their body with the side of the wall, not standing in front of the glass, so to speak. And that's it. I don't know if you'll give me an opportunity to remove frightened, but
I will give you. Here's what I'll say. I will give you a choice between two things.
Yes.
You can either steal yourself and remove your condition. I believe you have like a memento that lets you remove your condition as well. So I'll let you heal your condition, or you can roll me a vigilance, and your number of successes will equal the number of bonuses you will give to another player as you are spotting any of the coming werewolves.
Alas, I do not believe that I have good vigilance. Let me see. Actually, no, actually. So 5, 6, 7. What kind of bonus is that? Like an attack bonus?
Yeah, this will give them so a number equal to your successes. So if you roll 3 successes, you can give out a bonus of 3 dice to other people for that.
I can give 3 dice for every success?
No, 1 dice for every success, equal to your
Got it.
Your successes.
I'm gonna go for the memento, which is the book, the essays of Ralph Waldo Emerson. So I think I'm gonna go for the healing in this moment.
Also, keep in mind that Emerson, the dog, not the
dog, yeah,
gives you a bonus of +3 to vigilance.
Oh.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, we'll do that then.
You're gonna do the vigilance?
Yes.
Okay. So if you roll vigilance and then add a +3 bonus to that for Emerson, and I will say Emerson is as like affluently as Alec was raised, Emerson is like a hunting dog, right? So in this moment, Emerson's hackles are raised, but in a way that's like, get me in there, coach. So like you're against the wall, kind of like peering through like a window while being like adjacent to it, but not in front of it. And Emerson is next to you, but not in that like point kind of way, like when they have found the quail. But you see like he's like the front paws are sort of down, the back paws are ready to go, and he's loaded like a coiled spring, and his nose is going in the air, his eyes are looking back and forth, and he is ready for action. So you have a +1 bonus to give to whoever you'd like on their next attack.
So I'll say also that Alec, throughout this combat, unless otherwise would need to be quiet, is just like quietly like reciting like Emerson's like self-reliance or something like that, like from beginning to end in a just, because it's calming, centering.
Yeah, I love that.
Is it I don't know who our best ranged is. Is it William or Cyrus?
I believe it is William, given that.
We'll go with
shockingly, yeah.
my cousin William. Then to Alec will say to William, to the right, William.
So William, on your next roll, you'll have a +1.
Yeah, I think it's William, then Wyla, then Cyrus, I think. In order.
You know what, Melissa? I'm looking at the rules for Memento, which we always forget about. This just says you can use your Memento to heal a condition by interacting with it. Explain how you use it, the item in question, and I have the final say of whether that's cool enough to use to heal yourself. So what is your Memento?
The Memento is the book, the essays of Ralph Waldo Emerson.
I think then in this scenario, yeah, I think that would allow you to you reciting, perhaps like clutching the book as you're looking out the window, almost like in the back of your mind. I think that will clear your and it's once per in-game day, so I think that clears your frightened condition. So hell yeah. In fact, go ahead, because I can do numbers. Go ahead and roll me 1 more d6.
Oh, sweet. Thank you, Mike. You're so generous.
Because that's a logic a logic impaired
Hey,
mental one.
there we
Okay,
go.
so two. So William, you'd have a +2 to your next shot, not just a +1. Fan freaking tastic. Cyrus, what are you doing?
So Cyrus has run up to the altar. He runs behind it. He puts both of his hands kind of flat on the altar, standing there looking kind of at the main church, seeing what everyone else is doing. And then he starts talking to himself, as he is prone to do.
Yes.
He says, well, it's a damn good thing that Martha has left, because this is about as close to blasphemy as I'm going to get today. Let's do this. And so he puts his hands down, he focuses, and he says, these ley lines have been causing me no end of grief. It's time for them to do me some good. And then he, instead of fighting against the energy of the ley lines and trying to block out all of the static and noise that he's been doing, and I know you've said it's because it was quite oddly quiet now,
Yes.
but instead of like that just instinctual trying to block all of it out, he goes the other direction and just completely opens up to whatever he can feel from a ley line perspective, and just tries to bring that in. And then he starts talking, and he says, and he starts kind of slowly starting with his voice and getting louder and louder. And he says, hear me, spirits. All of those who have been wronged by this awful cabal of witches and werewolves, all that have been wronged, all that have been killed, whether you're witch, werewolf, or otherwise, now is the time. Please join us in defending ourselves and trying to right the wrongs and bring back balance and perhaps some peace to your souls, so that you may undo this wrong, create the right, and that you may go into the afterlife with a clean conscience and knowing that vengeance was yours against those who have wronged you. So I ask you now, please come and join us, help protect us from those that would do us harm. And he just tries to reach out and contact whatever spirits he can, using the memory and the feel of the werewolf that he and Signy had summoned in the cemetery as kind of like a guiding, like trying to find that particular spirit as a starting point, and try to pull in and manifest whatever he can from the spirit world.
Okay, I love it. Let's see what helps you here, Cyrus.
Witchy bullshit.
Witchy bullshit. So you have a Grigri bag, which gives you a +1 to witchy bullshit.
Yep.
I will say, if you would like to use, so your Grigri bag is an item. Your spirit guides, I will say you can use your advantage on your spirit guides if you so choose.
I do.
And then let's see what else is here. Crystal ball won't help you. The staghorn won't help you.
That's about all I got on that. So
I let me double check something on my end. I think
unless the ley lines can boost, like he's trying to use the ley lines to boost his call.
Yeah. Yep. Let me see if the because you have the aether scope, right?
Yeah, I had the aether scope.
See if the aether scope helps you. The aether scope gives you a +2 bonus on all checks involving the investigation of supernatural phenomenon lore or the casting of rituals aligned with the ley lines. So the aether scope gives you a +2 bonus.
Great. Awesome.
So
he'll be dealing with that as well.
And I will say you're at the altar in a church. The church is a convergence point I will say the locale also gives you a +2.
Okay, cool. That's a +7. So, all right. See how this goes.
Come on.
And then he'll also add, and spirits, this church is not consecrated, so you have no fears about coming here and doing your own will. And so come and join us. And I will make a, what would be equivalent to a seance roll? Like a,
Ooh, are you doing a seance? Because you have the seance ability, don't you?
I do have the seance ability.
I think this is definitely a seance.
Yeah. I think we'll treat that exactly like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then that's an
So that would be
observation.
a what is it? Observation?
That's observation.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
All right, observation +7. Or yeah, I can't ignore conditions because it's observation. Do this. 1 fucking success.
1 success on 15 dice.
15 dice. Wow, that is
Great.
great.
I apparently took
I
all
would
the luck.
redo that.
I am going to 100% push that roll.
Yeah.
Okay. So push the roll and then you can mark a condition. So same thing. Add all those bonuses back in there.
I will add that. That's better. 3 more.
Did you ignore conditions?
I did because it's an observation roll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So a total of 4 successes here. I'll tell you what. On 4 successes, you describe what you want to happen, and I'll tell you to stop when it goes too far.
Oh, okay. All right. So Cyrus makes this call. Right? He yells out, and at first he hears nothing. Just the lack of anything, which is just like completely opposite of what he's been kind of inundated, in this church for the whole time they've been there, right? Where it's just trying to block out the noise has been challenging. And he's very much within himself now. He really has no idea what's going on around him in the church anymore. I mean, there's gunfire, there's yelling, right? And he's just focusing on this. And he starts to be able to sense the ley lines and feel those. And that's kind of the first thing that he grasps onto. And as he gets a hold of that, he feels like more powerful, more energized. And he starts to draw on that as he just keeps reciting, come and restore the balance, come and restore the balance. And he starts to reach out, and he just gets, and he's starting to feel, well, he's starting to get angry that nothing is responding, that this is not working. So he's got that flicker of doubt, but then he doubles up and he gets just a ping where he can sense that werewolf, that spirit of that werewolf that we had interacted with in the church, or in the cemetery. And he starts to pull on him. And once he gets closer, he can sense another werewolf that has been killed. And he pulls him in. And then he senses a witch, part of a coven, and he starts to pull her in. And he starts to pull like one kind of spirit at a time. And slowly around the altar, you start to see a very like a ghostly image of the werewolf, the first werewolf first, and then another one. And then the witch comes in. And he just keeps pulling in spirits, and they start manifesting and becoming more and more material as he continues to stand and work.
You watch as this happens, and everyone here saw a terrifying marvel back in Grindstone in New Hampshire when you barricaded yourself in the town hall, lit a fire, and summoned a spirit in the fire. This is not that. This is not that. You're watching the late 1800s equivalent of Aragorn getting off the ship and Ghost storming out after him as you watch almost like a priest at the pulpit giving the sermon, hands down, these arcane devices about on the altar here, as you hear Cyrus, the acoustics of this place made to amplify naturally the voice of the pastor here, giving his occult sermon, requesting the aid of spirits, a profanity in the eyes of someone like Martha, perhaps, but in this unconsecrated place, no more profane than anything else happening here. And you begin to see these manifestations appear, like as if they are moving, they are walking in step, as if they sort of you watch them manifest as if they were walking invisibly and just slowly gain form and solidify as they're walking closer, and you begin to see almost a crowd form at the base of the stairs leading up to the altar, all facing Cyrus, as if showing up for his sermon. And as you complete the sermon, you watch as these people turn and begin to move out of the building, passing through the walls and moving out into the city, the torrential downpour of the city beside them. And Cyrus, you feel yourself tap into an energy here that is both seductive and extremely terrifying. You feel that the ley lines is maybe something you've known about. It's something you have like heard in your previous life as a hunter, right? As a but never have you tapped in at a focal point before. And the amount of energy here, you fully understand why this church was built here, whether they knew it or not. This is a site of power. Depending on your level of thought, your theocracy, right, or your theology, this is a holy site in essence. Whether they understood that, it's felt here, and you can feel that power sort of channel through you as you call out these spirits. But as much as you feel that power, you know how easily in this moment that is as powerful a force. It is as corrupting a force. That this sweet allure of the ability to do what you just did is what turns someone from you to Sister Margot. And as you begin to pull in these people, these local residents of New Orleans, you feel an additional connection here, and you feel what the other witches in the area would refer to as like ancestral magic. And as you're calling in a witch who was spurned by whatever this cult is doing, killed by this cult, you feel it's not like pulling in one person. It's like pulling in multiple people, and you can kind of feel that as you pull this spirit in, this spirit is inherently tethered to a bunch of other spirits, and it's like almost like dredging a lake. As you can feel that this person is bolstered by their ancestors and their ancestors, and that's the true heart of New Orleans magic, is the ancestral magic within the bounds of these cemeteries, and prayer to the Loa and prayer to the witches who came before you. And you can feel it, even though you're pulling in one, there are 3-4 more behind them, ready to lend their aid in this moment. And you watch them listen intently to what you're saying, and then you see them turn and disperse, and there's a flicker, that moment where you've spoken to the ghosts that sort of follow you around, the familial attachments, the crew members that have drowned in your presence, and you know that as much as your spirit guides want to help you, they are one traumatic exposure away from being the ghosts you'd have to put down. And you watch as they turn, and you watch that flicker happen where, like, you know that right now you're pushing these ghosts that if pushed further, they may tip that scale and become the same ghosts you would hunt as they disperse out of the walls, and you begin to hear screams outside as people were unprepared for that. Wyla, in the chaos of what's happening right now, is going to shift a piece of the barricade and sort of lean out, bowstring drawn, as much as she can inside the building, as little as she needs to outside of the building, and fire a shot at.
Let's go, Wyla.
Oh,
Three
Wyla for the
successes.
win.
Three successes on Wyla. Hot damn. All right, so I'm going to do this. Let's see. 0 successes on the witch. You see Wyla lead out, fire this arrow, and you hear a cry ring out, and anyone who's at the window, Alec especially, sort of keeping overwatch, you see an arrow fly and stick into this woman. You see her rip the arrow out of her, blood is pouring down her habit. You see her grab the top, rip this thing off, her curls sort of cascade down, and you watch as she begins to change. And I need everyone who is looking out of a window
To shoot
roll
at her?
me. No, not to shoot at her. To roll me a fear check. And as I remind myself exactly how fear checks work, a fear check. Choose whether you will tackle the situation with logic or empathy. So either everyone who is looking out of a window, go ahead and roll me logic or empathy. You may add an additional dice equal to the number of players present in the scene up to a maximum of 3. So everyone can add a +3 bonus for this.
Would I see her out the window that I was shooting out of?
I would say anyone at a window would see her.
Okay. Then I will roll. And you said +3 dice?
+3 dice.
Yes.
So I think the only one who doesn't have to roll anything would be Cyrus. And let me see.
Well done, everybody. Good job.
Wyla, logic, and empathy.
Yeah, that was a good round of rolls, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really strong.
We've been saving up for multiple seasons for one combat.
Okay. Wyla also succeeds. Let me see here.
Well, she's less scary. The witch is less scary when she's being swarmed by ghosts and her werewolves are getting one-shotted by wood.
Yeah, when she's bleeding. She's bleeding heavily. Fear 3. Okay,
Hopefully
so
we got the witch reinforcements on the way.
anyone who rolled over a 2 succeeds. So Wyla does not, in fact, succeed.
Oh no.
Wyla does not, in fact, succeed. So Wyla
Neither does Alec, because Alec did not roll over a 2.
Oh no, 2 or higher. 2 is what you need. 2 is the success rate. So she is going to be terrified. So I'm going to roll a d6 for her, a 2. She is.
Hey, it's her first time actually shooting somebody, right? So
Yes.
freaked out a
She
little.
is a person for sure. She freezes. Yeah. She freezes. You see anyone paying? I mean, it's chaos in here, right? But anyone paying any close attention to Wyla would see her fire this shot. You guys see the arrow stick. Ow! Snaps the arrow off, and then you see Wyla is still locked in that same position where she fired the arrow, and she is is frozen in fear. Perhaps it is the realization that she just shot what is obviously a human. But all of you look and you watch the obviousness fade from that as you watch what is ostensibly this woman, this nun. You watch as her elbows sort of snap inward a little bit. They bend a little bit like hyperextension, a little bit past where, or hyperflexation, past where they're supposed to bend. And you watch as her forearm elongates, and her hands are now a little bit past where her knees are, farther than they should be. And you watch as her fingers begin to extend, moving from like 2 or 3 inches down to 4, 5, 6 inches to a point. And you watch as she seems to her thighs and her calves begin to extend, and she seems to be approaching 6 foot, 6.5 feet. And you see her body begin to hunch over, and she looks at the window where Wyla is, and you see these beady yellow eyes just glaring through the darkness as if they're their own source of light cutting through the rain. And you hear a horrible cackle from this woman as a hag is what you are facing.
Ooh.
So the werewolves are going to do some werewolf shit. They're going to try to break in. So let's see here.
You mean by break in, you mean run away in fear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, for sure. So the werewolves are going to do this. I will say for the door, the barricade will give it a strength of 10. So 10 successes to break down the barricade. And I'll say 4 successes for all the windows to push in one of the windows. So we have, let's see, 2. The first one, I just copied and pasted that number. Those are the 2 at the door. That is 1 at a window. So no one is getting in yet. No one's getting in yet. 2, 3, 4.
Are you rolling for people or the structure?
I'm rolling for people.
Okay.
All of your barricades. Let's see, math 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. 2 more. 9. 10. All of your barricades hold. But you see them ripping the glass. You hear the glass shattering. You see arms are coming through the windows and like ripping at the upholstery that was put up there. You see them clawing. You see these human fingers that are extended a little bit in black claws as they're like mid transformation. You see them ripping at the pews. You hear smashing at the door. You think maybe you have 1 or 2 more mechanically rounds, but maybe a few more minutes before someone breaks into this place. And we cut from here a scene of chaos. Martha, as you run at full speed out of this storm, you begin to realize that the storm is starting to like taper off in the way that like if you're driving, you sort of pass through a storm and it goes from torrential to like, less and less rain as you move. It looks like the whole city is raining, but the majority of the downpour is centered at this church. You begin to hoof it through the streets. You hear Eddie sort of cawing overhead, sort of helping you navigate through, and you are headed to the French Quarter. I would like you to roll me. I believe it is. I want to say it's like athletics. Could be wrong. Agility. Roll me agility. Zero successes. Okay, that's totally fine. You're not gonna not run. So you're running as fast as you can. You will arrive at if Lillian's shop, the Verdant Vale, is where you're going. You will arrive at her shop next turn, as long as nothing stops you or you don't stop yourself. Is there anything you want to do while you are running to this place?
No, I can't think of anything.
Just run full tilt. Okay.
Just running.
Absolutely. I love that. Perfect. So we just see the scene of you in nun habit, sort of pulled up over your head a little bit, red curls sort of bouncing with your wig as you just run very unladylike through the streets towards the French Quarter. And we
Might
will
we
cut,
call her a flying nun?
could be, it could very well be. And we cut back to the church itself. I believe that brings us to William and Signy, who acted first.
She's just gonna shoot because now they're exactly right where she wants them.
Yes.
Right within literally like well, I can't remember, the term totally escapes me, but if she can put the gun right against someone's head, she's gonna do that.
I don't think you can put it right to their head. Like, they're moving, but you can still fire.
Okay.
You can
Do I get a
absolutely still shoot.
bonus? Can I get a bonus for their proximity?
You do not.
Okay.
In fact, it's actually harder to shoot in close combat than it is at range.
Okay. One success! Yay! Another 2 damage.
One success, another 2 damage.
This is
now,
better than I ever expected.
It's almost like West.
in this moment, I will say, for sake of how this works, Matt, remind me, how many bullets had you made?
Oh no.
Oh, loads.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was before, as soon as he knew that there was werewolves involved, which we knew coming down here, he was like obsessive about it, which is
Okay.
why he was practicing and shooting off of the paddle wheel bolt. And that's why we tried to get colloidal silver, because he was just obsessed over his, well, because it was his fear, right? So,
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, just a standard box of cartridges worth, so let's say 50 rounds.
Okay. So normally I don't, but this is a finale, and I will. You are 2 out of 6 rounds are out of your gun,
6?
Signy. It's a revolver.
Well, I
6
can
shooter.
reload.
So when you are out of bullets, it will take you 1 action to reload.
All right.
Your whole
That's
turn
fair.
will be reloading. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
silver bullets don't come in a speed loader, and William isn't a trophy shooter or a competition shooter that just has racks of speed loaders just in his bandolier.
No, I still love the thing from the Dark Tower movie
Dark
where he
Tower.
was like just rolling the gun
Yeah.
along his belt.
Yeah,
Just such
Roland
awesome
the
visuals.
Gunslinger, William is not.
Yeah. Kale maybe,
so-
but not William.
Yeah. So I'll say, for sake of killing people, Signy, you shoot the same person, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're not gonna.
If I can, I definitely am.
Cool. You shoot that person, and you see them sort of stumble back, and they look a little fucked up. In fact, mechanically, they are dazed. They have a -2 to their roll.
Sheesh.
William, you have a +2 bonus from Alec on top of whatever else you want to add to your insanity of rolls. Go ahead
Was
and
it plus?
take that
Was it
shot.
+2 or +1?
+2. They
It
rolled
is
a
+2,
second
okay.
success.
So because we did the fear thing, can I actually see the witch, the hag?
You can.
Okay, I'm shooting at her.
Okay.
Cool.
And yeah, I'm going to use the 2 from Alec. I'm going to use the 2 from the crack shot. So we're just going to throw everything into it.
Yeah,
and
go
see
for
what
it.
happens. So that would be 4 bonus dice. Okay. Watch, this will be a 0. Of course.
Hell yeah.
14 dice and I get a 1.
Hell yeah. Okay, what is the damage? Is it
You
2
can
damage?
push like I did.
Yeah, it would just be 2
push.
damage.
You could push. That is true.
But I wouldn't get the bonuses, right?
You would still get the bonuses.
Then I'm definitely pushing. He'll take it'd be a mental condition, right?
Actually, they updated the rules. If you push, you can take any condition you want.
It'll still be mental, I think, because he's angry.
Okay.
He sees werewolves. So okay, we'll try that. Do I add the? Do I? Yeah.
Add
I
1
don't-
less because you're.
I
keeping
don't
the
ignore the condition, basically, right? Yeah.
You take the condition after the roll. So you're gonna roll first, but you're gonna add 1 less bonus die for your roll.
So I would essentially not ignore conditions on the roll because it automatically does it.
Yeah, that's fine. Mechanically, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Essentially, what it is if you are rolling physical
Oh.
dice, you keep the 6. You don't re-roll the 6 because it succeeded.
I have used up all of my luck.
Wow.
Yep. On that immediate one-shot kill of a werewolf.
Why
you
didn't I shoot
fire-
at the witch first? I feel like an
you
idiot.
fire 2 damage to the.
If it was a werewolf, you would have had 10 successes.
Yeah, that must be it.
Yeah. You
Wow.
fire. So a lightning crack fires off as you lean out and fire this round at Sister Margot, striking her in like the abdomen. You see her like stumble backwards, and her eyes snap to where you are. And that will be actually check one.
Wyla
Thing.
hit her for how much?
Why hit her for
It was
1?
For just 1 day. Okay, so she's only
Just
got 3
one.
on her.
The bow and arrow only does 1 damage.
It
Ouch.
only does 1 damage.
F.
Unfortunately.
But did she get to spend those extra 2 successes on something? Because she rolled 3 to hit.
She did roll 3. That's right. Good call.
Yeah, it
Let me
should've
see.
been
Yeah, I'll say. You know what? She did. Would have done 2 more damage.
So she's dead. No.
If only. So you see that she is wounded. Outstanding. Perfect. Yes. You see her eyes snap to you. And she does something to you. Or at least attempts to.
Me?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely she does. Let me see. Where are you?
She smiles and says she wants to give you a hug.
She says, "Hey, nice. Good shot, my guy."
Right.
She does. She's going to cast a spell on you. You're mine, as they say. She's going to cast a spell on you, and that spell is, as soon as Mike finds it, it is not that one, not that one. That one's cool, but not that one. Is one where she gets to try to control you, which is very fun.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. If she's a hag, she's not fun for anybody. No. Where the hell did that go? Oh well. I'll find it eventually, and she'll do that for you. Sure. Terror. Use. Damn. I cannot find this ability. I would have written it down. Oh, there it is. Okay. I need you to roll me observation. Two successes. Okay, I have to beat 2 successes.
Nice roll.
So,
Beat?
ooh,
Match.
2 successes on my end. Let me double check. Is it meet it or beat it for you?
Defender wins in a draw?
Yeah, I like that rule.
I do think that is actually true. I just want to verify. The player character may use a fast action to resist magic. If they do not, the creature only needs 1 success in order to succeed. If you succeed, the magic is canceled. Yes, I do believe you block this out. Hell yeah, good for you. That would have sucked. Yeah, so it says the creature controls the player's actions. Extra successes deal mental damage. The victim cannot be made to hurt themselves. And basically, I would enthrall you and make you shoot at your friends, which is very fun. For me, not for you. But so you feel her gaze on you, and there's like almost that like tractor beam sort of moment as you feel that camera zoom dolly out sort of moment from movies where like you feel like you're zooming in and like the whole world is stretching by you as if you're being pulled closer to her and something you tell me what it is but something you shake out of that what is the the mental fortitude, the emotional whatever what pulls William out of this moment and shakes this witch out of his head?
Honestly, I could see him starting to fall back and fall into himself in fear, thinking about the, it's not just one werewolf. There's 10 out there right now, right? So or thereabouts. Starting to feel a little overwhelmed, a little feared, not regressing back into the old traumas, and then suddenly as he starts like to cringe in on himself, he remembers his anger and his pushing back in the forests and standing up and being able to power through it and then actually killing the one werewolf and then killing the second one just now. And he's like, I don't need to be afraid. I don't need to let this control me. I'm good. And he doesn't even need cocaine this time for it. He's just like, he's got that natural combat high.
Cocaine? Don't know her. You're muted. You're muted.
Who?
Mike, you're muted.
Oh.
I was laughing. I said that's a quote right there is he doesn't even need cocaine for this moment. Absolutely. So you shake this moment off, and it's like as you're kind of shaking your head almost. There's like that quick vision of like the first werewolf go down and transform back into a human. The second guy sort of like recoil back, and you see the fear in the eyes of the other people look back as this werewolf doesn't get back up. And then you sort of shake this off, and in that moment you can almost feel the laser daggers from the hag as she realizes that you are not under her thrall, and you can feel like radiant hatred coming from her. Alec, I believe you are next. What are you doing?
So Alec sees the witch mutate into this other creature, this hag, and said, since you said the word, I'm going to assume that Alec recognizes that as a hag.
I'll say yeah. Alec has done enough book learning, especially with the Men of Letters books.
Great. So as ridiculous as it sounds, like Alec needs to pause and do some research and this is very Alec-like. So Alec will sheathe the knife and push their glasses up on the bridge of their nose and pull out the Libro de Invisibilia, which I always feel like I'm not pronouncing correctly.
You are.
And we'll quickly flip through the pages and find a page on hags to see if there's any information on hag weaknesses or strengths that could be shared with the group.
Go ahead and roll me a learning check as you are this isn't a casual one. It's not a casual light read, and two, there's gunfire and werewolves and all kinds of bad shit surrounding you. So go ahead and roll me a learning check. I believe you have several bonuses for learning.
I do. I have a +2 to wealth of knowledge is applicable. I have a +2 to learning when looking for clues in my books. I have a +1 in the Libro de Invisibilia itself.
Yeah. So the wealth of knowledge will be that will use that for the session. If you want to use that, you can, but it will use it.
I think that makes sense. This is a critical one. So we're going with 5.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Let me double check the math here. I do believe that is that looks correct to me.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ooh, one success.
You know, I don't know. I feel like this might be important, so I am gonna push.
Okay.
I mean, like, if we can get clues about this lady. So, what do we want to be? We want to be frightened again.
That's a valid concern.
And I'm sorry, do I do that after or before the
After the roll. And then just roll. You said you had a bonus of 5. Just roll with a bonus of 4.
Okay. Okay, 3.
Okay, so a total of 3 successes. Hell yeah. I love that for you. So you begin to flip through the book.
And we get to see Mike flip through the book here.
Yeah, as I find where the hell the 1,000 pages in our Roll20. Oh, chapter house. You find the following information. Let's see here. You find an article. You find a number of articles. Fine, computer. You see a letter, in the pages of the book here that say this is from England. The standing stones of ancient times are the subject of many tales told among the rural folks who live nearby. While traveling across the country of Gloucester, I came upon a typical example of the tale of Old Meg. The gray and weathered stone, not quite the height of a man and a little broader, stand in the valley side near the village of Annonsbury, and is held by the local people to be the body of a pagan witch who was turned to stone through the prayers of Saint Berenius during his mission of conversion in these parts. And there's a couple of like handwritten notes that like refer to hags as having nails like iron, having eating or consuming children, and something about prayer or weapons blessed by the Lord having the capacity to turn them to stone. You know about hags.
So you said prayer or weapons from the Lord? Is that what you said?
Yes. Yeah. No. Prayers. Yeah. Or weapons blessed by the Lord.
Or weapons blessed by the Lord. Whew. Okay.
Did we have any holy water left? Did we ever
Because the place is so old, the water was dry.
No, I don't mean in the church. I thought we had got some.
We didn't bring it.
We left it at the manor. We left
Okay,
it.
I didn't think so, but
Okay. Everyone, this is a hag. It is time. I wish Martha were here, but it is time for us to all find our places closer to our own faiths and closer to the Lord. Prayers may help. I wish we had our holy water. I wish we could bless the weapons. Please pray to your weapons, and when Martha returns, perhaps she can help us further.
Okay. Absolutely outstanding. That brings us to Cyrus. Cyrus, what are you doing?
So I think at this point, Cyrus is feeling pretty drained, and just mechanically for the push, I took exhausted because you said it can be either. So I think exhausted made more sense than angry actually. So so he's feeling pretty drained, but he feels like he's done what he could without kind of endangering himself or everybody else more if he goes any farther with the summoning element. And so he is, kind of his focus and attention kind of comes back to the church. And he takes a quick look around as he has seen all the spirits he has summoned kind of start to move outside of the church and hopefully wreak whatever havoc. And ideally, just at least try to run off the attackers. But in the meantime, he looks up, and I think the person closer to him he sees is Wyla as she fires her shot. And then he just sees her freeze. And so he will, he runs over and it basically pulls her aside, kind of moves her physically. He moves her away from the window, and it will assume like he doesn't know there's a hag at this. Well, I guess he would, right? Because Alec just said there's a hag.
Because Alex pointed it out.
So he sees Wyla just kind of standing there, and so his assumption is that she's ensorcelled in some way, and so he will just say, "Wyla, it's gonna be all right. You're gonna be fine." And he takes her bow, and grabs an arrow from the quiver she has. And then he will look out the window and see if he can take a shot at the witch.
Yeah, go right for it. The bow gives you a bonus of 1.
Okay. Let me do the math there. I guess it's okay. So the bow is a bonus of 1.
It'd be your ranged combat with a bonus of 1 for bow.
Right. So what's a bonus? And then the conditions are not going to help me at all, so I'm not ignoring those. And go. I got 1, so I do hit her.
You absolutely hit her.
And I think a bow is a 1.
1, yep.
Yep. So he lets fly, and right before he looses the arrow, he doesn't. It's not his best shot, but he is moving quickly, and so he just does a quick draw, and remembering Alex words, just says, "May the good Lord forgive my blasphemy in this old place of worship and bless this shot." And he fires, and he lets that fly. And then as it hits her, he will yell out the window as loud as he can. He will say, "There you go, witch. You will suffer me. And you will suffer my wrath if you continue on this course. Leave now." And he trying to get her attention. Yeah,
I love that. Yeah, I think the shot draws her attention. And let's see here. She reacts to that in a not good way.
good.
Good.
She wants to try to ensorcel someone. She can try me.
Jesus.
Wow. Signe, I get it. Like, who,
The worst he's gonna blaspheme, huh?
Oh my goodness.
Hey, I'm rolling today.
Christ. All right, let's see here. She does react to you. Yeah, I need you to go ahead and roll me force.
Force.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you describe? So I know what I can and can't do on this roll. What is happening here?
You don't. You have no idea. Well, actually, you know what? Do you have an idea? Well, you've heard hag, right? You've seen that you believe that Wyla is ensorcelled in some sort of capacity, right? You have drawn the ire of this witch, and she turns to you, and you see her raise both of her hands, and like the arch in her back bends, like she straightens her back essentially, and you see her like cresting 7 feet. She raises her hands towards you, and you see her digits start to move and she is doing something at your direction.
Doing something. Okay.
Yeah.
Would this be? Sorry. Would this be considered a temptation of a Vaesen? Because I get a bonus to that.
Ooh.
Which is what I was relying on to not have to roll force.
Interesting. I don't think it is a temptation of a Vaesen. She's straight up cursing you.
Okay, fine. All right. My powdered staghorn will let me roll observation to resist.
Yeah.
But
temptation. Yeah. She's not trying to do any kind of
all right.
seduction or anything like that here.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And this also would not be witchy bullshit on my end.
I'll allow witchy bullshit. I'll allow witchy bullshit. This
Okay.
does, this feels like it is
and at least my Gregory bag trying to protect me from witchy evilness, which is the point of the bag in the first place. So okay, cool. All right, so I'll take the +1. So that's force +1. And I do not ignore conditions on this one. No, that's a 0. So
okay. So here's what happens.
I was banking on that staghorn.
Yeah.
Damn it.
So you're gonna take one damage.
Okay.
To start with, right? So
is that physical or mental?
That would be physical damage.
Okay.
Nothing terrible.
You said it was so it's some yeah. I mean, either battered or wounded, whichever.
Yeah, either one. Your choice. Your choice.
I guess battered if it's like more of a forcey thing versus like a knifey thing.
It's
like
it's an internal thing.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I'll take battered then. Great.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting pretty beat right now. Okay.
You feel stricken by something. As you came out here with unwavering confidence, you sort of pulled Wyla from here. You said, you've done great. I got this. You take the bow. You issue your prayer, hoping to imbue the arrow in some semblance of divine light. You fire the arrow. You see it stick into her, and you issue your charge, drawing the ire of this creature. She turns to you, digits waving in the sky, and you feel a force inside you, just sort of like hope leaves you as you feel just ill, and you flash back to a moment you had but a few days ago, I believe. You hear the din of the outside world chattering in the street. You hear the slightly louder but hushed murmur of your companions a few feet away, blocked only by a beaded curtain. And we see you sitting cross-legged at a small, low table. Across from you is Lillian Gauthier. Your hand on the table, her hand under yours, as she's tracing the lines of your hand, reading your palm. And you recall this moment as she runs her finger across what you know to be your lifeline, and she says, "It's wavering and very thin here. There's some sort of weakening of life force. Something seems to be draining your vitality. I think it will sap your physical strength before long." She says, she moves further down your hand. She says, "But your fate line is strong, starting strong at the base of your palm, and then it does become fragmented as you move forward. It shows almost as though you had a clear purpose in life, and something has recently caused you to become uncertain." And from that moment, we flash to a time in your past, Cyrus. A time before you were afraid of water. A time before, perhaps the last time you felt the feelings you may or may not feel for a certain dramatic private investigator. You recall the spirit guardians that follow you around, but you recall them in life. You recall them as the members of your crew aboard your ship. You recall them as members of your previous hunting crew. Um, and you recall the death and the sinking of your ship. And you remember why your ship sank. And you remember that no amount of this newfangled psychiatry that William has begun to try will erase the fact that it's not a feeling of guilt that this was your fault. It is a fact that the sinking of your ship and the drowning of your crew was your fault. It was directly your fault. Could have been prevented by you at any point in time because you went and foolishly gave your heart to something that should never have it. And in this moment where you feel this loss of hope, this something inside of you shift and change as this hag casts this spell on you, you know in this moment the looks you get from Signy that say something's wrong, the looks you get where she kind of tries not to have that look at you, that something bad is happening to you, the stolen moments where you try to figure out what's wrong, or she tries to slip in a mention of like, hey, is everything okay? The moments where you almost told William that there's something deeper than what's physically happening to you. You are cursed. You have been cursed for quite some time. It's what drove you. It's what drove you away from society. It's what drove you away from the ocean. It's what still instills a fear of the water in you today. You're cursed by the merfolk, and the curse was just deepened by this hag. The hag infected you and deepened your curse. You feel physically weaker. You feel even the water outside in this moment gives you pause to recoil from its inherent moisture. And you feel the curse has progressed at a faster rate than it should have, a faster rate than it has in quite some time. And you have moved one step further on the track of this curse taking you from this world. And from here, we cut to Martha. As you, a foot slaps in the water of the street up onto the curb here outside of the verdant vale. You see a large sign in the window that this place is closed. However, you can see that there are like faint flickering glows of candlelight coming from the back room where you know to be covered by a beaded curtain. And you see the sign simply says "Gone for the day," but no one in their right mind would leave unattended candles, let alone in a storm, out in their store. So, Martha, there must be someone here. That is incredibly dangerous. What do you do in this moment?
So, you said there must be someone here that is incredibly dangerous. Is that what you said?
No. There's fire. There's you see like the flicker of fire, like as
Uh-huh.
if there's like candle lights, and it would be incredibly dangerous to leave
To leave.
unattended
Okay,
flames.
got it.
So
All right.
someone must be here.
Okay. So is it still raining
It
where
is
I
still
am? Or-
raining. It's
Okay.
not.
All
It's
right.
not like torrential, but it's still like it's raining, like a casual rain, a
Okay.
regular rain.
Um, well, I'm completely out of breath, right, from running. So I'm just kind of almost like slam into the door, right? I run right into it and I just start, I'm drenched. My hair is like plastered to my face. There's rain coming down. I hear Mozart playing in the background. I mean, It's very dramatic. Um, and I'm just banging on the door, kind of like leaning up against it at the same time, Lillian, and hoping she can hear me through through the rain, and
You
that's what I'm
you
doing.
see the curtain move open. You see Lillian. She looks there's like a fire in her eyes as she like who is disturbing her. You see a level of recognition that she has seen you before. There's a moment where she's like, you look like a drowned rat, right? In a nun's habit. There's a moment where she's like, what's happening? As you're like, your wig is like matted to the side of your face, it's like askew. Parts of your habit are all like fucked up. And she like looks to see who is like pounding on her door, disturbing whatever she's doing, and then realizes it's you, and you see her look behind you as if expecting to see the rest of your group who was here the last time. Um, she quickly rounds the corner, and she's moving at like a not like aggressive, but like definitely like a hurried pace. And as she opens the door, she sounds agitated, like you're interrupting something. And she looks at me and she says, "What, dear? What is it?"
Well, I kind of push the door, like I kind of push the door open and like stumble in. And I'm just wet and I'm like jumping all over her floor. I shove the door behind me. I'm not sure I'm not being chased, right? So I like shut the door behind me and look behind me, as if somebody might be there. And I say, Lillian, it's happening now. You have to help. We took the kid. They're trying to get the kid. We have to protect him. They need the kid for the ceremony. We figured it all out, but you have to come help right now. The werewolves, they're attacking the church.
She looks to you, eyes sort of wild. And I'll say, as you go to close the door, Eddie sort of swoops in, lands on her counter, and you see him do that like shuffle where some of the water just beads off of the like the feathers on him. You see her like the last time you were here, you were very magic is hokum, your witchcraft is bullshit. Only the power of Christ will save you.
You're evil.
And yeah. And you come in here asking for her help. So there's a moment of like of shock in her that sort of like erases the hurried and agitated approach she had at first. And then once all the gears click in place and she realizes what you're saying, she sort of shakes her head, looks to you, looks to the bird that followed you in, and she says, "Dear, we know. Come." And she grabs you by the wrist, and she's going to yank you. Not like in a way that's gonna like pull your arm out of your socket, but she's definitely like grabbing you, and like the way you'd like grab a kid and be like, "Come on, we have to get out of here." So she grabs you by the wrist and she's pulling you towards the back room.
Okay, I mean, I stumble after her. I'm still out of
Um,
breath, so I kind of, I'm panting and stumbling after her. Very
as you
uncoordinated.
as you step away from the door, the sound of the rain sort of abates, and the closer you get to the beaded curtain, you realize that almost blending with the sound of the rain is you hear rhythmic sounds and motion and like noises coming from the back here as she sweeps with her free hand the beads and sort of like lets go of your arm and sort of grabs you by like the like your shoulder blades and sort of pushes you into this room. And before you have a chance to like move out of this, you sort of stumble into the room. She follows behind you, and you see that there are her back room, to which only I believe Cyrus had gone into. You see there are two concentric circles of women sat in a circle, arms out, like crisscross applesauce, arms extended out to the person around them, and they are swaying. The first circle sways, the interior circle sways to the left, while the exterior circle sways to the right, and they're sort of moving back and forth in this rhythmic motion. And you see standing in the center of this room, strangely enough, a woman you recognize, like at the back of your mind. You see this woman, tall, probably like closer to 6 foot, but it's hard to tell. Her oh Christ, what's it called? Her hair is in a high wrap. I forget what they're called, but her hair is in a high wrap. This African American woman is here. You see her arms are up in the air. You see she's moving around people. Her hands are hovering over their head, and you realize that that rhythmic sound was them all chanting, the chant itself is happening at the same time, but what they're saying is not in unison. They're all out of time with each other, and you realize that at some point, like some of them are saying one thing, some of them are saying something else. You see rows of candles. You see a small table in the center with a chicken more or less dismembered in the center of this thing. Various bowls of substances here, and you see a break in one of the circles of women. Where you see like one of them is like extra stretched further to like make the circle complete. And Lillian sort of pushes you as it and points as if to indicate for you to sit there as well. And as you're being directed to sit, you realize for a moment that it's very strange for a hairdresser to be in the center of the room here. And you see a woman who you haven't seen in probably five years to like quite a bit of time. Um, before you were in the cloister, before you ever came to New Arkham, your mother, a well-to-do woman about town in New Orleans, would take you with her to get her hair done. And you recall this moment of sort of like um, uh, women being free to speak their mind in a world of men,
Mm.
where this was a place where it was only women, and what they said was not filtered through the lens of what is appropriate in society or what is appropriate in the company of men. It is the full embodiment of letting your hair down in a literal salon, where these women gossiped and talked trash about men, about society, about the things that they wouldn't dare say in polite company. And you remember this as a young girl, perhaps getting your hair done there as well. And the woman at the center of this, sort of almost praying over the heads of people as she chants her own unique chant, is the proprietor of this salon. As you are sort of shoved towards this gap in the circle, do you sit or do you resist?
So I'm my first thought is that's a lot. What in the
Yeah.
world is going on here? um, I go, Marie, what are you? How are you? Why is there chicken? I and I'm kind of like trying to make these remarks as like I'm kind of getting pushed towards the circle. I don't really like resist. I kind of just plop down because somebody told me to plop there, and I'm exhausted. And I'm just confused, and like people just kind of grab my hands, and I'm like, Marie, what are you doing here?
She looks to you as you call her name, but she does not break in whatever she is doing. And as you sort of get like plopped into that spot, you feel an arm reach around your shoulder, and you begin to be pulled in that left right sort of seesaw. You see Lillian pop down next to you. She places her left arm over your shoulder, and again, whether you're participating or not, they're swaying, and by being in the circle, you're being pulled left and right with them. Um, Marie Laveau turns to you and acknowledges you and continues with what she's doing as she continues to look at each one of the women around here. Lillian turns to you and says, "With whatever you do, with whatever you pray to, pray." And she begins to move as you hear her begin reciting something. You kind of clock in at all of these women are saying things. None of them seem to be praying to good Christian magic. They are calling on their ancestors. They're calling people by name. They're asking for power. They're asking for essentially the meaning behind what they're saying is the same meaning behind what you would pray to in church. They're asking for protection. They're asking for safety of loved ones. They're asking for healing. They're asking to weather the storm, quite literally and like metaphysically. So the intent behind the words feels similar to what you would pray to like psalms you would hear, to the messages of the New Testament, right? As they are moving back and forth saying these what to them are no different than prayers. Do you join in? None of the women seem to really acknowledge that you're there. They seem to be locked in to what they're doing.
Well, Marie has instructed me to pray to, in whatever way that I think is appropriate. And so I kind of will go, huh, okay. And then I'll whip out some psalms since I know the whole Bible
Yeah.
front to back.
Okay.
So she says, "As for God, His way is perfect. He is a shield to all who take refuge in Him. Blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trains my hands for war and my fingers for battle."
As you begin to say this, your voice joins a chorus of these women as they are swaying and chanting and reciting whatever makes for their scripture here. And I would like you to go ahead and make me a roll here. This is going to be a observation roll for sure. And I think I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to pose a question.
Uh-oh.
In this moment, you are probably one of the farthest places outside what I think Martha would consider her element, right? You've seen some weird shit. Grindstone was fucked. You saw like a weird like doppelganger situation that was also strange, right? But I think this is this is almost antithetical to who Martha thinks she is, or at least who Martha has been told she is, perhaps. In this moment, while you are joining in with what you know, how hesitant and resistant is Martha to this display of divine womanhood? Or do you just accept it and buy right in?
So uh just sort of out of character a little bit. So I see Martha like becoming more curious about the occult, but she
Mhm.
still sees it so I think for Martha, I think what would be super, super cool is if she starts to blend the occult with Christianity and actually
Sure.
uses like Christian, like the Bible as and Christian rituals as like spells.
Mhm.
Because I think that would be really cool. But she's still totally weirded out by this, right? So I don't think that she would see like I can see her developing sort of her own kind of religion that mixes the two, but in her own weird way that she's justifying things, right? Not necessarily like with dead chickens. Like
Okay. So let me rephrase the question a little bit then. Um, the the days of being brought with your mother to the salon and being out of the world of what you're used to and being able to say what was on your mind without the judgment of men, that is sort of the feeling here is this is an area that is showcasing divine womanhood. Is the feeling that you get is similar, especially seeing Marie Laveau sort of here? Do you wrestle with that as like who you are, or do you sort of sink back into that like, oh my god, this is very strange and uncomfortable, but holy crap, this is kind of cool, or is it like is it very resistant to that?
I think she's really torn, right? So because I
Mhm.
think she's a kid. So I mean, she's curious, this is empowering, these things are cool and she's these it's interesting. But on the other hand, this is not how she would normally see herself, right? So I think it's like when that kid is going to the party that they're not really supposed to be at for the first time,
Okay.
and there's that keg that they kind of want to try, but they're not really sure how they feel about it. It's sort of that, she wants to experiment and she wants to reach out, but she's got all of these things that are basically saying like this is not right. You're not supposed to be doing this.
Okay. So I'm gonna let you mechanically decide your character growth here. You have an observation roll to make. I will give you a bonus of 1 to 5. 1 being, I do not accept what's happening here, and I'm just doing it because I'm told to. 5 to, holy shit, this is awesome. Girl power, let's do magic. You decide what your bonus is, and that will inform how Martha sees magic after this moment here.
All right, we'll go with a 3.
Okay.
Because I think she's really curious, but she's conflicted.
Okay, so roll me observation with a bonus of 3.
Okay, bonus dice 3.
Yes.
2.
Hell yeah. You sit in this circle and there is an uncomfortability, and you know the words around you as though there's a lot of people talking. It's hard to hear exactly what one person is saying, but you're fairly certain that what you're saying is not what they're saying, and you're saying the only thing you know to say in this moment that feels right to match what they're saying, and you begin to sway and rock, at first sort of forced as they're moving, and eventually you sort of relax into it and your body begins to sway and move, and you feel like the headiness of whatever is burning at the center, a little brazier, as you see like the smoke sort of rising above here. You see the candles, the room is warm because the sheer number of candles plus the amount of people, the body heat rises. You begin to sweat. The rain begins to dry off of like your skin and hair, still soaking wet on your clothing. But you begin to sweat in the heat of this room. The haziness of the smoke sort of blends in, and for a moment you're in this circle. You're moving back and forth. You can barely tell your prayers from the sounds that the other women are making with their own words. And you feel, at least for a small time, connected. Perhaps a connection you've never felt before, perhaps a similar connection to what you felt in church. Who's to say? Definitely not you right now in this moment. But you feel this connection, this oneness, this wholeness of body and spirit in this moment that is both welcoming and conflicting inside you. And you feel tethered and grounded and part of something. And you realize what's happening here. Not in a way that like you're puzzling through and trying to figure it out, but in a way that like once you sort of settle into this, you were not expected here, but what is happening outside was expected here. The witches you came to find, the covens, the groups that you came to find to ask for help were already helping. They are doing their best, and you have now lended yourself to their power and have extended, and you can kind of feel the roots of ancestry as you are tied to New Orleans inherently, as your family is here and has been here for some time. You sort of feel that connected nature of things. And you realize that you are doing exactly what you set out to do. You are asking for the assistance of the witches, and you are now in covenant here among them as you add your prayer to their spell casting or whatever it is, as they sway and chant to affect what is happening back at the church. And we cut from here back to the church. Wyla is recovering. Cyrus looks not great. Signy and William, you are firing out of the windows. Alec, you are hurriedly doing what you do best. Books are out, pages sort of flip. And I think in this moment, Alec, you see Emerson out of the corner of your eye. You see his ears prick. And as soon as you see them prick, your finger stops moving over a page. You look to him as he looks behind you to the ladder, and you see the door opening above the ladder, and you see Renee peeking down, and he looks at you. Alec, what do you do in this moment?
Alec looks back, hands still hand still on the books, looking up, because I imagine they're all spread out on the ground, and says, "Renee, are you well?"
He nods his head to you.
I think just a couple more minutes. Everything's good here. Are things are good up there?
He nods his head to you again, and you can see that his eyes look unsure.
Would you like me to come up with you?
You see his mouth move, and you know he said something to you, but over the sound of the rain, the gunfire, the shouting outside, it's very hard to hear him. Go ahead and roll me a vigilance.
Do I get the +3 from Emerson?
You do not. Emerson doesn't help you hear better. He would just help you know that that something's happening.
Okay, 3. That's good.
Oh, yeah.
You hear him say, "No, thank you. I'll come down." And he begins to swing a leg over.
Alec stands up and runs up.
You see Emerson do that kind of like when you startle a dog at the speed at which you stand up, and you see him like sort of jolt, and you see him on edge, and he quickly follows you very close to heel. And Renee begins to come down from this place, and you watch as he, hand over hand, foot over foot, as he descends the ladder here, and he gets to the bottom and looks to you, and he puts out a closed fist as if to hand you something.
And Alec holds out their hand underneath the fist.
He lets go, and you feel this uncoil of the rosary sort of deposit into your hand, and he looks to you and says, "I think I understand. I think I'll stay."
Do you know? Have you guessed?
He looks to you, and there's that moment where you've seen it before when talking to him, that the eyes of this child seem to know far more than anyone who's like 5, maybe 6, should know. And there's like almost like you're looking at an adult. Just that like band of eye. And there's a second where he doesn't say anything to you, but you know the answer to the question. And without reservation, without hesitation, without that sort of awkward, almost puppeted motion, he just puts his arms around the small of your back and buries his face in your abdomen.
Alec pats him on his back and holds him closer. Do you need this to keep safe? And she's holding the rosary.
You feel him like shake his head no, still face buried in your stomach, and you can feel that same warm moisture again, as you can tell that he is, and you can feel, if you put your arm around him at all, you can feel his back sort of heaving, that he is crying.
So Alec will kneel down and wrap their arms around him and whisper in his ear, "I love you, son."
We see the camera sort of pull back from this moment, and the firing of revolvers, the sound of shouts, the sound of breaking bones as these humans begin to shift into their lupine forms. We see the sound of we see the rain pattering and smattering the side of the building, the crack of thunder, and everything silences in this moment for Alec. And you hear from a face buried in your shoulder, now that you're knelt down, "I love you too, Mom." And we cut from this very second here, and we see William and Cyrus and Signy looking out of their windows respectively, at whatever they're aiming at, and you hear, "No!" And the hag has raised arms up to the sky, and all of you feel the ground begin to shudder. She reaches down and slams her gnarled, nail-like fingers into the ground, and the glass begins to shatter from the windows. The pews you have leaned against the wall begin to shimmy and slide down from this place, and a small localized earthquake begins at the foundation of Église Saint-Lumière. Signy, Cyrus, William, what are you doing in this moment?
Wow. I think
Holding
in
on for dear life.
yeah, I think in the fray, like with these people trying to come through the window she's defending, like the glass is broken and like the rain's splattering in, so she's like starting to get like wet from that, and she's like and like shooting, and then I think she's in the fray, she's grabbed like a chunk of glass to use as like a secondary weapon, as like a hand is reaching in, she's like trying to slice, and then you said the pews start like falling over.
They, like, because the place is shaking, the pews were kind of like leaning. They begin to like shimmy and slide down with the vibration of the ground.
Yeah, okay. I think like as it starts like tipping over and sliding, she is not paying attention, and I think she gets knocked over, and then like maybe it falls on her or something like that.
Okay. William, Cyrus, what about you?
I guess depending on how violent the shaking is, he's just trying to keep on his feet.
You don't think the building's gonna come down around you, but it's enough to like knock things over, right?
Probably just look around to make sure nobody is actually hurt or knocked over or something hasn't fallen on anybody, but he's gonna keep his focus outside the window. I assume he sees the witch digging her hands into the ground and all that. So if he can stay vigilant at his post, he will.
Absolutely. If you want to stay vigilant, if that's your main focus, then I think I think that's up to you. I will say, if you look around, you would see that Alec is hugging the child, and that Signy is not like pinned, but definitely is like, I would say, maybe struggling with a pew that is like falling onto her. Not in a way that's like going to like severely injure her. So if you want to choose to focus on what's happening outside versus what's inside, it's entirely up to you.
He'd probably if it doesn't look like she's pinned or injured or whatever, then he would keep his focus outside. If it looks like she's trapped, then he would go over and help.
Okay. I don't think it looks like she's like unable to get herself out. Maybe a few bumps and scrapes, and maybe like an uncomfortable amount of
Just
like,
a little bit
of
of just a little bit of dramatics. That's all.
Signy's tougher than everybody else here, so he's not going to worry about it.
Do you continue firing?
Yeah. Is it our turn? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Who are you aiming at? Just so I know.
The witch.
Okay, go ahead and make me a roll. And while you're doing that, Cyrus, tell me what you're doing.
So Cyrus is gonna take he sees the witch start to scream. He feels the earthquake. Can Cyrus tell what's going on? Like, what is causing? Like, does he feel anything like from the spirit world that would indicate that there was some magic or something else?
You can tell this is coming. The witch is doing this. The hag.
Oh, she is doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he'll just take a quick look over at Wyla and make sure that she is like nothing's going to fall on her or anything like that. And if she looks safe, then he's just going to yell at the witch again and then shoot at her.
Okay.
So.
Wyla looks safe enough that she is not in danger of like anything falling on top of her. She still looks pretty shaken, but she looks like she's not like in danger of being like impaled on anything.
Okay, so we can go over to William and was that or do you want to?
Oh, go ahead, make your roll as well.
Okay, yeah. So Cyrus just yells at the witch. You've lost here. There's nothing for you, and he takes another shot. And he says that, although this time his bravado is taking way more effort than it did the previous time.
I can imagine.
Can I take a
yeah.
shot as well before this thing falls on me?
Absolutely, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, he misses this time. So.
I will take my shot. Ooh, and I miss, which is appropriate.
That's okay.
Hitting-
You have a pew falling on top of you.
Yeah,
Cyrus,
as it's falling, she's like, wide shot.
Yeah, I think you like fire. As the thing's falling on top of you, William, you fire as you hear the as she's being hit by a pew. Cyrus, you feel that like sickening feeling, and you know that you have just taken one step towards death. As William, and we have that like bullet time, right? We see the rain sort of slow, and we see this bullet spiral hit a raindrop. It explodes as the silver bullet rockets through towards the hag before you, and she looks up at the sound of the shot, William, and you fire this thing, and you watch as her head snaps backwards, a spray of blood falls, and you watch her hit like slump towards the ground and look back up at you, blood pouring out of the center of her head, the center of her forehead, and you watch as she looks down and a drop hits the ground and sort of splashes in a puddle, and then she dissolves into liquid, and you watch that liquid seep into the ground, and then you all hear the screams of agony as the 11 remaining werewolves in various degrees of shapeshifting fall to the ground, their bones snapping into and out of place as they are forced against their will to transform both into lupine and back into humanoid form. And then anyone still looking out of the window would see parts of their body burn as if they are being branded, in the way that like skin sizzles and you can see little embers pop and smoke, and there's an acrid smell that starts to take over the petrichor of the rain. And you watch as something from somewhere is undoing the magical bindings of the runic tattoos imbued in them, and they are losing their ability to control their transformation, and they are forcibly being either transformed into or out of wolves. In fact, I think for sake of how awesome it is, they are all forcibly being transformed into wolves. The curse essentially rebounds on itself. The curse of the werewolf rebounds on itself, and despite their one ability to control their form out of the moon's phases and transform essentially when they want to, now they are locked in lupine form as the sigils sizzle and burn off of them. You hear screams of agony switch into howls, and you watch as 11 wolves begin to stumble as if shot or startled, and begin to lope off. And you see the first one start to like to gallop and run, and the rest of the wolves follow after them as these cultists, these followers, at least these 11, perhaps an unknown amount more, are now trapped in lupine form and recede into the bayou. The rain slowly begins to taper off across the city.
Damn it.
What do you
We
know?
didn't die.
Yeah,
I
I think
That
Signy can't see what's happening, so I think it maybe fell over her leg. So she's like, just trying to manhandle this thing off to no avail.
Yeah, Alec is just holding Renee and brushing his hair with her fingers, and is just saying, shh, 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 just shushing to help him calm. Shushing, not to silence him, obviously. Calming noises. Calming noises.
And
William?
Cyrus will drop the bow and just kind of slump against the window, looking out to where the witch has fallen, and just in kind of a normal tone, he'll just say, For all you spirits who came back to help us this day, may you find your eternal rest and peace in the afterlife. You can be on your way now. And then he'll turn around so his back's against the wall, and then he'll just kind of slowly slump down into a sitting position, just kind of lay there and just look over at Wyla and say, "Are you all right, lass?"
She looks to you, and the shaken fear of what she was feeling. There's a moment where you look back at her and you can't tell if she's still in shock. Her eyes are wide as she looks at you, and she kind of nods to you, but like the nod is almost a question, and she raises a finger and points at you. Cyrus, I would like you to make me an observation check here.
Okay.
Yeah, observation check.
No bonuses, I assume? Just what?
No bonuses. No bonuses.
Nice.
2.
You see her point at you, and she nods in like a very confused, almost questioning sort of way. And you know what she's pointing at without having to look. But it's something you've almost taken for granted over the years, both in accepting that it's there and also in trying to ignore and hope that it isn't. But you feel a number of hands on your shoulders, on your shoulder, on your back, all in a way that is like comforting and accepting. And you know that behind you stands the crew of a whaling ship. You feel that they are back, and with a second success on your observation, you can feel a level of understanding coming from them. Almost an acceptance of an apology they never got. And then you feel the hands leave your shoulders. And her hand drops.
Cyrus just kind of quietly nods a little bit in acknowledging Wyla, but also what's behind him. And he puts his head down and he actually starts to cry just a little bit. So his eyes well up and he just kind of looks down and is quiet.
Across town in the French district, the chanting continues for some time. The storm abates outside the store. And you see Marie Laveau, hands up, body gyrating. All at once, she drops her hands to the ground, Martha, and everyone silences in the room. You sort of catch up in that, like everyone knew what to do. And there is a feeling of elation in that room. And the women are somewhere between crying, shouting, celebrating. A complete stranger to your left just reaches over and grabs you and squeezes you tight in a unexpected hug that is probably one of the most loving hugs you have received in quite some time. They begin to stand, they're embracing each other and shaking hands, hugging, laughing, crying, and you begin to see them form into like small groups as they talk about what is happening. Lillian approaches you. You see her having a conversation with Marie Laveau. She turns from that conversation, approaches you, and places her hands on the outside of your shoulders. She says, "Thank you, dearie, for everything. Thank you for joining us. I believe our work is done, and I believe your friends need you. You're welcome in this circle anytime."
I said that's it. We did it.
I don't know what your friends have done, but the presence whatever was happening at the church, we don't feel it anymore.
I need to go check on them, and I give her a quick hug. I'm not sure why, because it just seemed like the thing to do, and then like I just bolt back to the church. I just like run out.
So we see the door sort of swinging closed as you bolt towards the church. And I think we'll cut from here, and I'm going to go around to each person because we are at the end of our episode. I'm going to go around to each person, and I would like a little epilogue as to you tell me what happens over the next couple days to end our arc here in New Orleans. So we'll start, I think, with Alec. What happens over the course of the next couple days for you as we end our arc here of season 4?
I don't think that I don't think that the epilogue necessarily has words. We just get to see things that are occurring and infer from them. But I think what we see is that there's like lots of conversation amongst this group of the men of letters. And I think that we begin to see Alec and William, if Matt's all right with it, pack up, and they, we have a moment where it's clearly a departure scene or a parting of ways scene where, Alec tips his hat, and everyone of the group, Martha and Wyla and Cyrus and Signy wave as they board a train, and they head back to where is the headquarters?
It is in New Arkham, Rhode Island.
New Arkham, Rhode Island, and we see maybe a last picture of Renee looking out of a train window as the scenery is flying by, and Alex sitting next to him reading a newspaper, and William ... I will leave that for William.
I think that's a perfect transition. William, what is your epilogue? What does the last couple of days look like?
So William knows he's been obviously dealing with his trauma and fear for many, many years now. And he was dealing with it with some very heavy medications and drugs. And he understands now he's gotten over that fear. He's gotten over that trauma, but the addictions that he has basically foisted upon himself has taken its toll. He needs help. He has to essentially commit himself. You can't just, the opium and the cocaine and then the endless amounts of alcohol. It's surprised he even has a liver left. He is going to be essentially checking himself into some sort of an asylum to get better. He's going to need time. And then after that, he's going to see where he's at. He came on this adventure mainly because Alec dragged him along, but that was the only way to confront and try and get over this. And now he has.
And as luck would have it, someplace you've been before, the New Arkham Sanatorium, is a wonderful medical facility nearby.
I thought you were going to say Arkham Asylum.
So as you board the train and head back with Alec, Renee in tow, the rest of the crew can make their parting goodbyes to Alec, perhaps temporarily, and William for an extended period of time. But we'll cut to, I think, I want to know how Martha says goodbye to Alec and William. So Martha, what is your epilogue? What does the next couple of days look like as we end this arc? Oh, you're muted.
So Martha is sadder than expected to see Alec go. She's not quite lovey-dovey about it, but she does, after Alec kind of tips her hat, Martha does give her an unexpected hug that Alec, I imagine, doesn't really know what to do with. And then
I think
to
Alec is getting better at hugging children.
at hugs.
By
Yeah, he's
force,
getting better at
like,
hugs.
through no choice of their own.
And then as far as William goes, she's, you know, sorry to see him go as well. Reminds him that he still has his lucky bag of 13 objects with his green glass and his shiny clamshell and his 7 cursed coins,
A tart whiskey.
and his tart whiskey, and makes sure to remind him that, so that he will always remember her by the bauble bag. And then she over the next couple of days finds some time to pull aside or find Marie Laveau, and she is really fascinated by the fact that this woman is her hairdresser, but also apparently when she's also a devout Catholic, and she also, which she was a highly devout Catholic, but is also clearly doing some witchiness. And so she has some conversations with Marie about how, you know, how she views that, and how she's how that's not a, you know, a conflict for her to be doing voodoo, but also to be a Catholic. And so I kind of see Marie as being almost like sort of like a mentor, maybe, that she can call on or talk to during the rest of her stay here, maybe get a little voodoo tips. And you know, that's just kind of her way of starting to understand how to reconcile these things.
Yeah, I think that Marie Laveau would converse with you and would have knowledge to pass on to you. But I don't know that she would be. I think she would defer you to Lillian Gautier as a teacher of things like root work, of a combination of Native American, African diaspora, of Louisiana voodoo, right? And how she blends these things with Roman Catholicism, which was her you know, her flavor of religion. Um, but yeah, I think she refers you to her, and you in doing so, and in your conversations with her, I think you realize that Marie Laveau is far more than someone who owns a hair salon.
Right.
And you realize, like, the level of, like, unspoken importance she has within the city. And it sort of adds up to, like, how crazy what happened to you at the Verdant Vale was. Um, uh, Cyrus or Signy, who would like to go next?
I'll go if John doesn't mind. I think at first, we see the final scene inside the church, and Signy's struggling to get out from under this pew that fell on her, and she's got some like abrasions and stuff like that, like cut on her hands from holding that pane of glass. And she looks over and she sees Cyrus sitting against the wall, and she's struggling, and she finally frees herself with a big thud of this huge wooden thing, and she makes her way cautiously over to him, and she can see that he's overcome with like emotion, and we don't hear, she says something to him, but we don't hear what she says, and she just crouches down next to him and like brushes his hair off his forehead, and then she just sits next to him and holds his hand. And then cut to a few days later, and she's I think she's helping Alec and Renee move, like getting their things onto the train, and she's carrying a little like a little toy chest that they had picked up for Renee's belongings, but it's like child size, so he could carry it. And then she hands it to him to take onto the train, and then she will crouch down and then shake his hand, and hand him a little toy that she had purchased for him. And for Alec, she will hug them and say, well, hopefully we'll see each other by Christmas. Okay? And then she waves goodbye and gives William a hug and wishes of good luck in his recovery wherever he's going. And if he ever needs anything, he knows where to find her or find them. And I guess they're still living in the hotel for now, I guess. And I think she's just doing mundane activities and cleaning up the church and putting the church back. But she's also keeping like her eyes out because those werewolves did run away. So they're still out there and she doesn't know what happened with the hag. So she's still a little wary about what's going on. And she is being close with Cyrus, but I don't know if he's being a little distant because of what happened to him in the church. But yeah, she's trying to spend some time with them as much as he'll allow. And I think her time ends. It's like if there's like music playing or whatever, because it's like a montage, like the music goes quiet and then the scene shifts and she's sitting in like this room and we realize she's sitting in Lily and Goche's seance room and she's sitting across from Lily and Goche. And then she just says to her, I need your help. And then it cuts out.
Hell yeah. And last but not least, Cyrus, what does your epilogue look like?
So we start in the church where Cyrus is there next to Signy, and he's looking pretty rough. He's looking like emotionally wrecked. He looks physically wrecked. So he looks in pretty bad shape. But then we move forward, and a couple days after Alec and William have packed up Renee and are ready to go, and he's back on his feet and he's moving again, and he seems okay, and he exchanges a few words with Alec and just says very encouraging words about about finding her place as a mother and spending time with her child and focusing on that and not to worry about what we're going to try to set up here in New Orleans and he's looking forward to seeing them very soon. Gives him a hug and steps away. And then he comes up to William and he starts that exchange with just a big bear hug, just an exchange right away. He doesn't kind of pull anything, and where he says that he's going to miss his company, and that he's a little disappointed that he can't tease him about his werewolves anymore, or at least it wouldn't be effective. And then wishes him well again and hands him a small little gift. It's a small silver flask that he has procured somewhere in the city, and says, this is for you to fill with whatever fills your heart the most, and gives that to him as a little parting gift, and hugs him again and sees them off. So, and then we then we'll flash back to the church where Cyrus is leaning against the wall, and Signy's next to him, and just very quietly he just turns and you hear him say, "Signy, I I think I'm ready to tell you the whole story now. And that's it. And then we cut.
And in the days following, as the city recovers, the witches of the French Quarter, in their own time, make themselves aware in a larger capacity to the remaining group here. Inexplicably, the only slain body at the church is gone. The sound of thunder covered any gunshots. The police do not have warrants out for a band of hooligans from out of town. More importantly, the murders stop. No one dies of anything other than natural causes for the remainder of your stay here in New Orleans. And life as New Orleans knew it goes back to what it considers to be normal. At some point, you are made aware by message from Lillian Gauthier that there have been sightings of someone matching the description, Sister Margot. The witches of the French Quarter are doing their best to find out who among their ranks were members of this cult. When you look like everyone else, you blend in. So unless they are caught practicing some sort of darker form of magics, hard to tell who's who. But the hag that formed this cult to a group called the Chorus is still at large. The train trundles off to the northeast. Alec, William, Renee, you're all received well by Niles Lane at the Coven Crest Manor. You're welcome back to your rooms. Nothing has changed there. Everything has been stocked and kept up. Any letters you may have sent to announce of your presence have been received, and you are awaited in time. William, you are checked in to the sanatorium. You are given a comfortable room. It is made aware that you are a medical doctor, and you receive the appropriate level of care for someone with your conditions. The best repair for the internal damage you've done is to stop doing any more and let the body do what it does. So most of your treatments are related to substances, and care is given to what your treatments are. Given how substance related the treatments are in this day and age. Coven Crest Manor is not one that is used to hosting children. However, no expensive effort or no lack of expensive effort is made to furnish a room fit for a child. As a Renee is set up with his own room. As you arrive there, the room is set up with a child-sized bed, a toy chest, clothing has been procured, and Renee is welcomed as if this home were his. And over the course of time, we see Église Saint-Lumière repaired, brought back to maybe not its former glory, but at least the glory in which you found it. Research is done into the ruins you found in the bayou. Alliances are brokered between your group and the witches of the French Quarter. Information is exchanged about anyone who may be a person of interest in this cult. And after receiving some amount of care at the sanatorium, William is released on his own reconnaissance to come and go as you need to the sanatorium. You are still treated there, but you are allowed to leave and stay. Obviously, you check yourself in, but you're allowed to leave and stay at the manor house, for which you have become accustomed to, the Coven Crest Manor House. And in time, we will return to New Orleans as Arc 4 of Mundus Novus. I don't know why I've been saying Arc 4 this whole time. This was Arc 3. Arc 4, per our players' requests, will take place in New Orleans. I can tell you that it will have to do with what's going on with Cyrus. It will have to do with the fallout of what happened here in New Orleans. It will have to do with the fallout of what happened to the men of letters prior to this time. And we will introduce a new character. As Matt, our player, is stepping away, William is in and out of sanatorium for his own care. We are getting a new player in the community member, Zalvi, who you may have seen in our Discord. If not, join the Discord and come hang out there. Zalvi will be our replacement for William. We do not know what their character is, whether they are native to New Orleans, whether they are coming here, how they're joining. But once we know that, you will be the next to know here. But that is it for Arc 4 of Mundus Novus. And if you want to find out, Arc 3, damn it, I did it again. Arc 3 of Mundus Novus, Waxing Crescent. And if you want to know what happens in Arc 4, you'll have to come back next time and find out. But that's it from us. Let's go around, do our introductions so we can get the hell out of here and do our after show for this show. And if you guys want access to this after show and all the other after shows for all previous things, join us over on the Patreon. Link in the description down below. You can join us at the free tier. You get some of my insights on the after shows. But if you want to get the actual after show itself, join us at the $5 tier. That's the first tier on the program. But with that, we will go around. We'll say Matt first because you are our exiting player. So Matt, who are you? Where can we find you? And what, pray tell, are you up to?
I am Matt, Vaughn in the Discord, and taking a break from the game. Mainly our new season of WoW. Our guild is pushing for top 10 mythic rating, so for our server. So I'm going to be spending all my weekends in there.
Hell yeah, love that for you.
So I won't be found anywhere else. I'll be, unfortunately, in World of Warcraft hell.
Only in World of Warcraft forever, raiding mythic dungeons. Jumping over to Melissa, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hi, Melissa Draftier in the Discord, and gameswithstories.com is where I put all of the fan art that I make for Mike's channel. And go check it out because I'm liking a lot of the projects I've been working on lately. They're lots of fun. I'm in Always Bloody, and I'm sorry, how do we pronounce it? Duskball, which I often just call Bloody. So you can find that on YouTube. That's not streamed. Am I in anything else? I don't think I am. So.
The returning season 2 of Age of Always, whenever that happens.
Someday. Yeah, we don't. It's coming soon.
Yeah. The one shots occasionally as well.
Occasionally, yes. Yep. Sometimes I will guest star in the one shots. I'll call myself a guest star.
Anyway. Hell yeah. Let's jump to G. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
Hello, I'm the Friendly Neighborhood Lightning Invoker. You can find me pretty much wherever you find unMadeGaming, online, lurking around, modding for the regular streams. I play in all the Patreon content. We're going to be starting a new Patreon campaign to replace the Rise pretty soon. You'll find the exclusive Patreon, like Session 0 world building content on Patreon. And I'm in Always Bloody with Dustfall with Melissa and John here. And this continuing as well, and in the Discord all the time.
Well, yeah. Speaking of John, we'll have you go next. John, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Sure. John, online, I am Ask Why in the unMadeGaming Discord. As both Melissa and G mentioned, as well with Mike, we all play in Always Bloody and Dustball. You can Find me there on YouTube as well. And beyond that, yeah, keep a fairly low, otherwise low profile on social media. But do like to play my games, so you'll find me here.
Hell freaking yeah. And last but absolutely not least, Wintress, who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
So I am Wintress Odom. I'm Wintress Rita in the Discord. I am like also just tend to keep a low profile on social. I don't do much that people should follow me on. I kind of like it that way. So don't follow me. There's really no need. But thank you.
Hell yeah. That is it for us. That is it for Arc 3. Is that 3, guys? Waxing Crescent. Arc 4. We don't have a name for it yet, but we'll be starting as soon as we have a character for Zalvi, probably next month, ostensibly. But that's it from us. If you like this, like I said, join us over on the Discord, join us over on the Patreon. That's it from all of us to you guys. We'll see you next time. From all of us to you. Bye.
Bye.